Alright, so we're going to do a quick demonstration on how to be able to look for a leak inside on your heater if you think you suspect or you smell any propane and you think something's leaking. Normally you wouldn't have your propane tank so close, so you'd be able to distinguish on whether it's coming from your hookups on your tank or your hookup on your heater. If you've seen any tears or breaks on the hose, hopefully you'll do a monthly inspection on something like that. And for a simple tool that everybody can have in their car is a water bottle. All of you should have water bottles with you and some soap, because we're supposed to be washing our hands right now. And so, I mean, you can make a concoction of water and soap and you can find some bubbles. Or you can get something a little bit more fancy and it's a little bit more expensive. This is a Gasmate detector, and you see that it's working right there because I made a leak in this heater. But we're not going to use something fancy right now because we know we got a leak because I made the leak. But I'm going to show you how you're able to go over some of the things. So now we're going to hook this up, and here's a demonstration. You can go over all the parts on your heater to make sure nothing is leaking. There is a seal around this regulator, and you can check your hose. Now nothing's sudding up, so it shows that everything's fine. Now with the heater being off, you have to keep in mind that the fuel is being stopped at these two valves. So anything past this, you're not going to see anything. And maybe I should demonstrate that on what I mean. I can completely remove this and there is nothing coming out. You see, there's nothing leaking out of there. And I can show you that with this. So there is no fuel past these two valves with the heater off. Let me just tighten that right back up for my demonstration. So now we're gonna test, well, basically what we're doing is we're testing the rest of the line. And so we got to check at this ASCO valve. There is pressure coming out of this one, very slight, ever into this one, which is what stops it. So now we're checking all the unions, making sure none of these gaskets are leaking. And as you can tell, none of it's sudding up. And we're checking all these connections over here, and as you notice, there's no bubbles coming out. And then we're coming up to this part right here, and if you see right here, we have all these bubbles blowing up, and it's creating a whole bunch of bubbles. And the more you keep pouring onto it, the more it keeps creating. So right here, we know that there is a leak between the union on this pipe and the Regal valve. And if we keep going down the pipe, we notice that there isn't anything else leaking, which is the way it's supposed to be. And if you'd like to, you can always dip your hose into a soapy water and check if your whole hose isn't working. Of course, hopefully you're checking it out every at least few months, making sure there's no gouges or anything like that in your hose. So once again, this is just a quick demonstration on what a fuel leak would look like if you put some soapy water over it, and just checking out for leaks. The way you would fix this is you can remove this, use some pipe dope, preferably something that's for gas, and just, you know, unscrew it, put some pipe dope on it and screw it back in, tighten it up nice and tight, and then you can do the test again and make sure it's not leaking.